Hello, Oakwood. It is Friday, September 4th, 2020. It's our 93rd day of sketching together. Welcome back. Our theme this week has been books that inspire us, and we are at the end of that week. So I could have brought so many books today to talk about, but I wanted to share a few things that I like to work from. So, one type of book that really inspires me is books that have a list or games that have questions. So, things that really spark our curiosity. So, I wanted to share with you one of my favorite art therapists is Pat Allen from Chicago. And she has an open, or she did, maybe not anymore, but had an open studio project for years where she invited you in to just paint. And there was nothing in her studio but some tables, some paint, and walls where you hung your paper and you painted. And I was always really inspired by that process of art making, just that really raw, internal, get your imagery out kind of art making. And so Pat Allen says making images is a way of breaking boundaries, loosening out worn ideas, and making way for the new. So, why I love art therapy so much in art, it's that it breaks down boundaries immediately. And I have to tell you, this week at Oakwood, I met a lot of people who were making art, and I got to know them so quickly through the stories that they told about their art and the images that they shared in a way that I haven't in the past year gotten to know people. So it's amazing how an image that we create or that we share breaks down those boundaries immediately and lets us be really curious about the other person. So that's why I love art so much, but also bringing to you today lots of books that have lists in them. So a couple of them, this is not one of my favorites, but just an idea. 3,000 questions about me. So what I might say to someone is, give me a number from 1 to 3,000. And I go to that number and I read you that question. So question 2,164 is, what kind of driver are you? For me, that depends on the day. Let's see. Oh, 2,540. Would you live in a castle? When I think of a castle, I think of being cold and damp and always having lots of fireplaces going. And so it seems like it would be a lot of work. And so I don't think so. Maybe a modern castle, but I don't think so. Ooh, 651. Have you ever walked out of a cinema before the film was done? No, I don't think so. And I'm sure I saw plenty of movies in my lifetime that were not that great. But I am so particular about going to a movie. In the past years, I've seen one movie a year in a theater, and now I've seen no movies, as all of us haven't in the last year in a theater. So I'm really particular about what I see in a theater. And my husband and I have some pretty different tastes, but then we meet in the middle on some. And so if we go to a movie together, he has probably chosen it. But in the last few years, I can remember wanting to see a movie and he has gone along. So, no, I don't think I've left a movie theater without the movie being done. Let's see. One more question from here. I wish you could speak to me and give me a number. Do you like throwing parties? That is a tricky question. No, I don't anymore. And I used to love it. I used to thrive on throwing huge parties. And I'll tell you what, in October, I throw two what I consider huge parties. One is a Renaissance fair with about 5,000 people. And when that is done, it's not a party, it's a fundraiser, but when that is done, I don't want to throw a party. But the biggest, other than Christmas, the biggest holiday in our house is Halloween, and it starts September 1st and it goes to October 31st. So we throw a huge party in our woods, usually the weekend right after the Renaissance Fair, and I haven't slept in weeks and I am really, really tired. So guess what? All of my parties this year have been canceled. 2 birthday parties. I guess it was scheduled 3 times. My daughters have birthdays back to back in March. One day, one turns an age, and the next day, the next one is having a birthday. So 3 times we've scheduled their parties, and they were all canceled. Then the Renaissance Fair has now been canceled, and of course we're canceling Halloween party. And I have to tell you, I am really excited because I'm pretty burnt out on parties. So I love a good party, and I love to throw them. Through the years, I've thrown lots of murder mystery dinner parties, and I'd love to do that at Oakwood when we can have parties again. That would be really exciting. Once we get through 2020 and I've had a big long break from parties, I'll be back in business again. Another book that I love, or an author that I love, is Sabrina Ward Harrison, and she is all about journaling and list making. And so this one is called The True and the Questions, a Journal. And she writes it as her journal. And after I opened this today, I realized why I love art and journaling and imagery so much, and the spoken and written word, is because when I talk to people about those things in their life, it is an immediate glimpse, a very personal glimpse into their life, and I love that. I love taking an inner look at someone's life. What makes them think and react, and what is it that keeps them going? So she writes her own ideas throughout it, but then she creates lists for the viewer to create from. So she creates a list of 15 things here. A list of 15 things, and I wish over here. What do you wish for? So all throughout, there's just this personal glimpse. She writes her own ideas, and then she gives us more and more. Let's see what else. I want to give you another list here. She has some pretty personal questions too, things that are difficult to think about. Like this one, which isn't too personal, but it is on a very personal, deep level. Oh, in love I need. In love I need. And list 10 things. And then she gives us songs to listen to. So she lists different songs. So I love this because it inspires us to really think about who we are. And especially in this time of the pandemic, I find myself just sometimes sitting around when in the past I would have been really motivated and curious, and I would have kept on going and had lots of ideas. I find myself just sitting and staring sometimes and not having the motivation to do anything. I love games that do the same thing. So this is called the Game of Things. Humor in a box. I don't know if it's too humorous, but it is if you're playing this for the game. So some cards. This is not humorous to me. This is things you have to do before you die. Oh my gosh, that list is so long. We have so much to do. So much to do. And if you think about it, it's so overwhelming. But exciting. All the things we could choose to do with our time. Things you were wrong about. I will tell you, I was wrong about 40 seeming a long ways away. It came faster than anything. I was very wrong about that. I was wrong about a lot of things when it came to my parents when I was growing up. Things you will always remember about last year. I'm going to remember so much about last year because it's going to stand out amongst all the years, because I think it really was a year of freedom, and it was a year before we knew what was coming in our lives. And it was a year when we had all of our personal freedoms and could come and go and throw our parties and not have to worry so much about what lay in store. Things you want to do before the night is over. What do I want to do before this day is over? I want to get my girls through their 4th day of online learning. I want it to go successfully and not have links and classes not working. on the computer for them. I want to have another absolutely beautiful day like yesterday. Yesterday's weather was absolutely perfect. The one last book I'll share with you, this one is called Start Where You Are, A Journal for Self-Exploration. And this is by Mira-Lee Patel, and I love it. She has done so many watercolor paintings in here. So she's taken, I'm not afraid, I was born to do this. Wow, that's Joan of Arc. What a great motto. I have a friend who's always sarcastic and sees the worst in life, and I had a picture of this on social media, and he's like, well, that went really good for her, because she didn't live very long and she had a very difficult life, and like, you know, she wasn't afraid. That's what mattered. She wasn't afraid. And if we all could live like that without fear, boy, my life would be different. So many different beautiful watercolors. One of my favorites, We Are Such Stuff as Dreams Are Made On, Shakespeare. So she's taken her own take on the quote and given it some art and some color, and then she's given us prompts to work from. So here, this one really resonates with me today. I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. And that's Albert Einstein. I was reminded of that this week when I got to know artists at Oakwood, residents who are artists at Oakwood, so much better by asking them about their art. And I was blown away, and I realized, oh my gosh, I need to go back and practice more and work harder and become a stronger artist. And then I realized, no, my art really is about curiosity and about being curious about all of your work and your art and helping you find that curiosity in yourself. So I'm okay where I'm at, and I'm okay with the artist that I am. And then here's the list. So if you want to create a list today, take a page from your journal, your sketchbook, and draw a line down the middle, line across the top, and one side will say, things that excite me. Things that excite me. And on the other side, it will say, things that slow me down. Wow. How about my excuses for everything? Or my tiredness? Or my ability to stay up till 3 in the morning and not better plan so I have more energy to do things throughout the day? Things like that. Okay, so one side, the first side, things that excite me, and the other side, things that slow me down. And then again, I'll read this quote. I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious, from Albert Einstein, who was a brilliant genius. He was only curious, he said. He also said that imagination was more important than knowledge. And thank you, Albert Einstein, for believing that and living that, and showing us that, and what, no matter how you feel about Albert Einstein, he really believed in that imagination and was curious about life and invention and creation. So those are some of the books I love this week. I'd love to show you so many more from my childhood, and I bet you have beautiful books that you've remembered along the way, or that you've kept, or maybe that you've discovered along the way. I'm discovering more and more books all the time, and they're really exciting to share with other people, as well as just to have in your own life. Okay, have a fantastic weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. I will have a video on Monday on Labor Day, September 7th, and we'll be back for video 94. Have a great weekend.